These are my little capsicum starts that I started in winter. They look a lot better now, they're getting a lot bigger. This one was an extra that volunteered in the garden. I've pulled him out because he won't fit in the garden at the moment, so we'll find another spot for him. But like this is a jalapeno. This one is mini choc. This one, Marconi red, sweet pepper. And this one's a habanada. So I'm most excited about that one because that's the habanada. So it's like a habanero, but it's not hot. It just has a flavor of it. But then I've got these ones which are going to be jalapenos, but I found out that I like them pickled. So I want to grow that to see if I can do that. So yeah, they look a lot better now that they've got a bit more food in here. And don't look at those. No, that's a comfrey. That's doing okay. That was just some store-bought coriander that's dead. And some of my other little things that Basil went to seed. The coriander, the comfrey. I'm gonna keep the comfrey because that'll be really good to put in the garden when I find a spot for it. This was where I had one of the nasturtiums, the milkmaid nasturtiums. These are all of the dried up seeds, and I mixed it back in and I've watered it and they're resprouting again. It's actually kind of what I was hoping would happen. But look, there were so many seeds in here, but yeah, look how many are coming up. So easy. It's cool. Mulberry's not really doing anything now. Just got leaves. We've got little volunteer plants in here. This is where I had the blue shelling snow pea. Another one's come up. This one won't last. It's going to get too hot. And all of these little tomatoes. And figgy is actually setting fruit, which is really cool. And this is the sweet potato. It's getting really big. Wherever it touches the ground, it would actually then put roots down and grow more tubers. So I have to keep picking it up off the ground. I do need to like kind of put some stakes in it so it stays off the ground. My tomatoes here, they're really, really sick. I don't know how much longer these will last. This is a Dr. Witchy's one, so that's still there. And this one is also, I think, Dr. Witchy's. Got lots of little weird ones because they had blossoms that were funky shaped, and also it's a bit sick. Well, it's not a bit sick, it's really sick. This is one of the triple crop tomatoes. Some of the bigger ones I've covered up to try and protect from any possible fruit fly. I haven't had any that have been affected by fruit fly just yet. I have had this though. Can you see there that stink bug hiding? So I don't know if they're really hurting the plant because the plant was still already sick, but I am keeping an eye on them. But see over here, this is the milkmaid nasturtium. See it just blossoming and trailing down there, which looks really pretty. I think they look really cool. So you can see in here, they're the that gets left behind after the flower. So the flower blooms and gets pollinated and dies and dries up, and then it ends up having these, which are the seeds, which then grow more nasturtiums, which is what all of these in here are. So all of these are those seeds dried up and they fall back in, and then they grow more plants, which is super cool. My little herb planter here, oregano, smells really good. My parsley's gone to seed, which I'm letting it so I can have some more flowers for the pollinators. And the chives have been flowering, which is really cool. Also got lots of weeds. I really need to mow. We had lots of rain, which was awesome. And in this bed, these are the 2 zucchinis. Look at that. These grow so fast in summer, like really fast. Like you got to check them daily. So it's really neat. It's got some spots on here. Some yellow spots. I have to keep an eye on what that is. See, something's been eating it. Always look under the leaves. That's where they like to hide anything that's eating your plants. So that's really neat. And zinnias over here. I can't remember which ones are where. I think they're the Thumbelina dwarf zinnias. Because they're in a bed, zinnias can get quite big. So, and especially these zucchinis they get really big, and the leaves get massive, like definitely bigger than my hand. They just get huge. And so I just wanted them to sort of be on the side there when this all fills up as zucchini. Still got the pincushion scooched over here. The bees still like that. Got lots of spiders everywhere. Some spring onions over here in the corner. There is there's a weed there. That's one of my little cucumbers. That's the homemade pickles cucumber, I think. And that's where I sowed more seeds, but it hasn't come up. I don't know if it's that little area because it doesn't get a lot of sun. This is a stevia, beautiful. You can put this in drinks. Stevia, it's like that artificial sweetener. Well, I don't know if it's called artificial, but it's a natural sweetener because it is a plant. The flowers on this, everything loves. So I like that in the garden just for that. In this middle bed, look at this. This beautiful purple zinnia. I don't remember which zinnias I planted in here. I knew I sprinkled some seeds from polar bear zinnia that I had in here last time, but then this came up, so I'm thinking I must have sprinkled some other seeds in there and just to let whatever grows come up. So that's really beautiful. I love zinnias. Usually you get more and more petals that come out from the middle, and it's like this big puffy beautiful thing. And there's the marigold still doing really well. So there's another flower head there. More zinnias growing down there. These are all little capsicums that have volunteered. This lettuce volunteered. Oh, there's a gap here. I just pulled out all of the kale because it was covered with aphids. So I ripped them all out to get them out of the garden because they're also all in this. That's the watermelon radish that I'm letting seed, which I'm now rethinking that because it keeps attracting attention of the aphids. You can see that there. It's covered in aphids. Ugh. To keep coming and pulling it all off. There's heaps. There's like at least 100 just on that little bit there. That's crazy. Gross. I usually pick them off and stomp them. But I found out something amazing today. Look! I had no idea I had beans growing, like edible sized beans. I knew I had these. But look, that's just crazy. Look, there's the dragon tongue ones. Look how big they are. Like that's crazy. I thought they were all really small ones. But they're big. That's really good. Something going on with the leaves though. They didn't do that last time. I don't know if that's an insect or if it's just hot and they want a drink. See, something's eating it, but that's okay. But yeah, how crazy is that? Like, look at them all. Look at all those beans in there. They're so good. Look. I love summer. Everything just grows so much faster in summer. Look at that. Look at all of those beans. Amazing. So that's the dragon's tongue there. On the other side, contender beans, which is supposed to be pretty good. Can you see the ant there? You usually see ants where aphids are because they will eat all of the, what do you call it, honeydew that the aphids secrete. Aphids are everywhere. And you can see all this, there's like all of this, well, that's an actual aphid, but there's all this kind of grey white powdery stuff, and it's just all the shedding of the, what do you call it, like the skin of the aphids. It's just everywhere, which is really gross. But back here, there's some more zinnias. I can't remember what this one is. I just sprinkled so many in and I don't know where my labels are. But that's fine. It'll be beautiful. I love zinnias. Something is sick with my melon and it's very shaded out. So I think that maybe we're just not going to have these melons. See, that one's really sick and little. So maybe I'll put something different here. I know it is really hard to fill this spot because now it's so shaded by everything. So maybe I will just leave that because the zinnias, they can really bush out, and then I'll just let this flower. That might be a nice little spot. But I'm so excited about these beans because like they have these like tiny ones, and so I didn't think that they had many growing, and then all of a sudden here you all are. And this is beautiful. It's looking a little bit sad now, but this was covered in poppies not too long ago, and then when we get a lot of wind, it's just blown all the petals all the way. Any of those dark spots down there, they're all the leaves of the poppies. Sorry, the petals from the poppies. Look at this one. Oh wow, that's so cool. It's just about to open. That's just the tip of it. That is so neat. You see that one? Once that comes off, then it'll be like this. It's so delicate and beautiful. I am actually thinking about pulling this out soon, the poppies, because a lot of them have finished. A lot of them have flowered and now they've just got the seed pods, and I'm not planning on collecting the seeds from them. I'm more wanting to give the rest of the garden back there more sunlight, and also the strawberries are still under there, hiding under there. But there still are a fair few blooms on there, and the bees really like it, so I'm slightly undecided on what to do with that. I may just like cut off half of it and open this up, because look, this is one of the squash plants. This is the I keep forgetting, one of them's green squash and one of them's white squash. So this one, the tag is fully faded. Oh, I think this one's green squash. That one down there, that's a green squash. And this one does look lighter, so this must be the white squash. So they can get fairly big as well, like the zucchinis. And look at this, this is a sunflower. But see here, it's got sunflowers in all the nooks as well. So the sunflowers all along there. And there are also little, oh, I think those sunflowers are getting eaten. There were some sunflowers under there, but they got shaded out and looks like they're now food for something. These are the beans here. These are the Chinese noodle beans. They're not super great at clinging on. They're supposed to like trellis up, but I've been having to wind it up so that it hangs on. So, and they look pretty battered. So we'll see how they go. They just look like like they've been really beaten up. We have had a lot of wind, but yeah, we'll see. They might still do okay. And over here, look, they're getting bigger. This is Mandy. She's still got a spider friend in there. And oh man, looks like a bird poop caterpillar. But yeah, they're actually like getting bigger, which is really neat. So we'll keep an eye on that. Look how massive some of these tomatoes are though. This is the one that looked like a caterpillar. Very sick, but still got some. It's just hanging so precariously. And we do have the potatoes here, which I am super keen super keen to dig all of these up. I did dig some up the other day with my nephews and they were like big, but it was off one of the best, like the healthiest plants. So, and these have been a bit sick, so we'll see what the rest are like, but they're dying back either because it's time or because they're just a bit sick. But I'm really keen to dig this up and see what's underneath. And because this is all fallen over, these zinnias are getting a little bit bigger. I mean, these ones are dwarf zinnias anyway, so they're not meant to be really, really big like the others. There's a spider right here too. Go. But you can see this one's starting to open, which is really neat. And these are the other potato plants that look significantly different to the other ones. They just go straight up. It's been so windy, things getting thrown in. And but look at these. These are cucumbers, bush cucumbers. I'm so glad that I planted these because the other ones are doing so terribly. And look, that's a little cucumber. And that one. And then there. And this is the dill. It looks really good. Yeah. So I have five Lebanese cucumber plants, and this is them. And these sunflowers, like, look how tall they are. Like, they're really tall. You're like looking at where my eyes are, and they're at this level. See? So see, they're pretty tall. But yeah, look, it's even leaning towards the sun. So I'm really, really excited for them to open. They're the Black Russian sunflowers, sitting very tall. Over here we've got the corn. It is probably actually now 4 feet-ish, some of them. So it has been quite windy, so hopefully that's helping with the pollination. I do sometimes shake them a bit. So you need to shake it so that you can't really see it now, but there's like tiny bits of pollen, I think it's pollen, on the tassels, which are the top bits, and it needs to fall down and land on the silks. These are the silks, and these look like hairs. One single silk is connected to one single kernel. Isn't that crazy? So that's why it needs really good pollination, because if you don't get a lot of pollen on there, then you'll end up with corn cobs that only have like bits of kernels actually like fully grown. So yeah. Oh, this is probably my tallest one. This one here. I don't know how tall things are, but that's up to just over half of me. I don't know. Okay, that's like a meter, maybe, a bit taller. And this is the other Black Russian. This is one I planted by itself because they can get up to like 12 feet. So I was keen to see how it did when there was no other competition of sunflowers like there is over there. But I mean, those ones are still massive. So I think this one had less sun to start off with. These are you can see the sick tomatoes behind us here. A lot of them are blushing though. This is the weird Dr. Witchy's cross something one. So they're all really sick now, and I've stopped pruning because they've hardly any leaves left. These ones are probably the sickest. They're triple crop. See, even on the tomatoes they look a bit funky. So some down there. But like some of them are pretty big. It's pretty big. They've also got some basil growing, some of the purple basil. Oh, I topped some of them before. And the sweet basil. But look at this cluster. Like, they're pretty big. And that one's pretty big. And there's another one in there. So I'm using these I don't know, these kind of really light fabric bags that my sister got me. It says it's from Green Harvest, and it's supposed to be like really fine mesh so that fruit fly can't get in and pierce the fruit, because they can sting the fruit, and that's where they lay their eggs and then you get maggots in your tomatoes and you can't eat them, or your capsicums, which is what happened to me last year. Some more basil is starting to smell really good down here. Oh, hello. And look, so this is the trap that I have, Eco Lure Trap. So it lures in the male fruit flies with a pheromone trap, and it kills them. So there's a lot down there. So I'm sorry if you don't like me killing fruit flies, but I'm not really sorry because they ate all of my capsicums last time and there's plenty in the world. They're a pest. So I am killing the male ones. Well, that's killing the male ones so that then they can't go and procreate with the females. Look at all of these ones. It's pretty neat. Look at that one, is weird. It looks like an upside down pear. But yeah, so like this one, they're looking pretty sick to the point where they sort of stopped growing. So that's alright. I've actually picked a bunch of them, because these have started to blush today. I picked a bunch that were blushing like this, I think yesterday or the day before, because I was going to water the next day and I didn't want to dilute their flavour. So, I mean, I prefer to ripen them on the vine. I'm doing both. Yeah, some of them I'm leaving on there. There was just a lot that was starting to blush, and just like in case the fruit fly started to come out and sting, I wanted to have some inside that were okay. So then if some get stung out here, then it's not as bad. Yeah, like pretty good. So that's actually the garden done for November. I'll dig up the potatoes soon, maybe tomorrow, so that I can show you guys what's underneath. I'm really excited. And yeah, try and take care of those aphids and start picking some beans. Oh my gosh, how cool is that? It's so cool. See?